integrity, and trust in our schools. Thank you. All right, we will go to the consent agenda. Are there any questions about anything on the consent agenda? And we have a motion to approve that.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
I see.
All right, there's no further questions or comments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, announcements. All right, reports. Acknowledgements by the board. Okay, leadership team. Okay, public comments. All right, members of the board may ask questions for clarification and briefly discuss. The matter is permitted in accordance with state statute, but may not take any action on the item unless it is on the agenda. Attendees must register their intention to comment in the public portion of the meeting upon their arrival at the meeting. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and will be requested to preface their comments by an announcement of their name, address, and group affiliation, if and when appropriate. All citizens are asked to identify themselves before speaking. In accordance with board policy, public comments will be limited to 30 minutes, with each individual being allocated 5 minutes. All right. Amber, usual?
Info.
Can you spell your name for the record?
INF as in Frank, and SINO. I'm here tonight as a concerned parent, grandmother, and member of the community. I'm here because I cannot stay silent about what has happened here at Wilmot Union High School this past week. Less than 24 hours after being charged with multiple felony counts of possessing child pornography, graphic, disturbing material involving young children, a 17-year-old student was allowed to return to your school campus. Not remote learning, not to suspension, pending investigation, but back to the building, walking the same halls as the community's sons and daughters. Let me be very clear. This is not about guilt or innocence in a court of law. Every person is entitled to due process, but a school's first responsibility is to the safety and well-being of every student, not to the comfort or the convenience of one accused of such serious crimes. When parents found out, not from the district, but from the news, they were very shocked, angry, and afraid. They were told there's a plan to keep him safe. But what about keeping children safe? What about the trauma to students who now have to sit next to him in the classroom with someone accused of exploiting minors online? Outlines clear expectations for conduct and student safety. It states that behaviors that disrupt the learning environment or endanger others may result in the removal or suspension. If possessing child pornography and publicly admitting attraction to children doesn't meet that threshold, then what does? The district's silence only makes it worse. No message, no reassurance, no transparency. Parents deserve to know what safety protocols are in place and why this decision was made behind closed doors. Parents send their children to this school trusting that they're going to be safe, supported, and protected. That trust has been broken. And until the district takes immediate, visible steps to restore that trust, including removing this student from an in-person attendance until this case is resolved, parents will continue to opt to keep their children at home. Not out of protest, but out of protection. Well, mine won't be as good as hers, but being a single parent and having 5 children and my daughter coming here from Salem grade school, us as parents should have, I understand that you guys are legally bound to do what the state and the court says, but I feel there should have been something put in place for instances like this, like treating him as like an ISS, putting him in a room on his own, guarded, you know, like my younger children, when I bring them here, now I have to worry about my younger kids. And when it's just me, it's an issue. So I feel like there should just be things put in place to where instances like this, yes, you're backed in a corner, but we also have to protect our children. So maybe we can do something, you know, like do it as an ISS, or, you know, like give us as a whole, you guys and us, to fight back the court system, because if he's going back to be tried as an adult, he should have been put in juvenile detention. But that's me. So that's all I have to say. It's not prepared for talking, I'm not a public speaker, but it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to just see what is happening. And we're here as a whole to fight for our children.
Ryan Beekman.
Can you maybe, this is both your last names?
Sure, it's Dietman.
Thank you.
And I understand, like the last speaker did, that it's a difficult situation, something that none of us in our community want to have to deal with. My biggest concerns are with the timing of messaging. I didn't receive a message until 5 after 7 in the morning. I was already on my way to school with my daughter. Had something come up the night before, we could have talked. I could have prepared her for what she was going to hear. She got to school, heard that there was a threat against the school, and called me frantic. So I had to turn around and come back and pick her up. Come to find out also that she was talking about school drills. There hasn't been any type of school preparedness for school shootings. I think she called it an Alice drill. So that those haven't happened yet. I think it's a little bit too late. Should have already happened. And as the other speaker had mentioned, if these things were taking place on school property with school resources, there's actually no reason a suspension at minimum should have been handed out, if not expulsion. Students are suspended, are expelled without criminal convictions, without felony convictions. I don't know why this case is any different. That's all I have.
The last one, I think it's Alana Stevens.
Good evening. As parents, we come here tonight deeply concerned about the ongoing lack of transparency and accountability demonstrated by both the administration and the board. When transparency is absent, trust erodes, and without trust, effective partnership between families, educators, and leadership becomes impossible. This situation reminds many of us of the time surrounding the referendum when students reported that an announcement was made over the school's loudspeaker instructing them to tell their parents to vote yes, warning that the referendum did not pass, that if it didn't pass, many teachers would lose their jobs. Multiple parents came forward reporting that their children were upset by what they had heard. Yet when this was raised at a public board meeting, the principal denied that such an announcement occurred, despite consistent reports from families. That incident, like the one we are addressing tonight, raises a serious question: how can parents in the community trust administration and the board when there appears to be a pattern of denying or minimizing legitimate concerns rather than addressing them openly and honestly? Under Wisconsin's open meeting laws, Wisconsin Stat 19.81 through 19.98, and Public Records Law, Wisconsin Stat 19.31 through 19.39, public bodies such as this board are required to conduct their business transparently and in a manner that fosters public confidence. These laws are not optional. They are designed to ensure that government entities act as stewards of the public trust, not as gatekeepers of information. Furthermore, as educators, there is an ongoing responsibility to ensure that every student has access to learning, even when circumstances prevent them from being in classrooms. Teachers have ensured that this student received the same assignments, homework, and materials to complete at home, just as any student would. When this basic obligation is neglected, it not only harms that students' education, but sends a message that some students' needs are less important than others. That is unacceptable in any public setting. This is not about political parties or personal agendas. The great strength about Wilmot community is that we care deeply about all our students, because all these children are all our children. When our students are put in danger, or when their educational and emotional well-being are disregarded, it affects our entire community. We are not here to divide, but to demand accountability and integrity. We are asking that the board and administration take concrete steps to rebuild trust by communicating openly, by acknowledging mistakes when they occur, and by ensuring that students, parents, and staff can voice concerns without fear of being dismissed. Only through truth, transparency, and responsibility can we move forward together to create a safe, respectful, and accountable environment for every student here in Wilmot and throughout the Wilmot community. Thank you.
Okay, for the statutes that she just read, that's why we can't comment on any of this stuff, because it's not on the agenda.
Put it on the agenda.
You said you guys had meetings in closed door, behind the scenes. What meetings were those? You said the board conducted stuff publicly and not publicly. You admitted that you guys met without it being noticed, so what did you guys discuss?
We haven't discussed anything.
That's what you said. You said during your lawyer-prepared statement, board action in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. What was discussed behind the scenes?
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Mathewson.
Okay. I'm looking at what I just read, and it said district. It didn't say board. It said district.
Well, which one of you up there read the sworn statement from law enforcement? Raise your hand if you have. That's the first problem. None of you have read the sworn statement or the criminal complaint. That's the problem. If I lived out here, you guys wouldn't be happy.
How about keeping our kids safe? Our kids who have a right to an education. How about that? It's not the education of one almost convicted criminal. It's the education of, what are there, 1,800 kids in this school? How about that? How about my child wants to come to school to learn, but she cannot. She's come because she doesn't want to get in trouble, but she's terrified to be here. How about that? And had I known that I had to sign up for a comment, I would have, but I did not know that. How about that? How about my kids important? Her kids important? His kids important? How about that?
Should I just ask a quick question? My name is Linda. If this young man is coming to school, does he have somebody with him at all times?
No. No, he does not.
I would say.
That's a problem.
That
Sure
might
is.
be
That is a
something
problem.
You guys can make sure if he comes, and he has to come according to the law, he needs to have somebody with him go to the bathroom, not go to the bathroom, but, with him at all these different places. That's all you have to do. If you can't kick him out because, you're bound to the legal documentation, you could certainly have somebody with him at all times. So
Who's gonna pay for that?
They kick people out for less.
Oh,
I was gonna say that, my son makes very poor decisions sometimes. I wait for you guys to call me to tell me that he's being suspended for some of the things he's been suspended for. I wait for it. It's embarrassing, the amount of emails and calls I get about my son, who's 16, who makes very poor decisions sometimes, but not this poor.
Right.
And
Not talking about
he has to-
vaping here.
And he has to stay home.
And he's being child as an adult. So it's like an adult who's kind of.
And he has no criminal
You're
record.
allowed a
That is
pedophile in this school with my son.
If his education's important, you could photocopy textbooks, send textbooks home. He's not supposed to be
Go back to
online.
the
Although although he is online because he's made threats. And it's not just one child saying it, it's a lot of children saying it. So he can't have a Chromebook, even though he violated the handbook by having porn on a Chromebook. That's an automatic
And on
expulsion.
your Wi-Fi.
You can give him textbooks, you can give him photocopies, he has his education at home. Let
That's
his
an
parents
expulsion.
deal with him. Not all of us and our children that are terrified to come to school. The lack of communication by this school, our kids are already on the bus going to school, and then we get a message that there's not a credible threat. My daughter got a referral for going to the bathroom when she almost peed her pants because her teacher said she couldn't go. And I told my daughter from the get-go, you go to the bathroom when you have to go to the bathroom. As long as you aren't taking advantage of it, you go to the bathroom. But this child, who is really an adult, is doing what he's doing, has 5 terabytes of child porn. And he is still in school with our children. This is unacceptable.
With
Unacceptable.
a school device, with a school Wi-Fi,
And
and a jailbroke Chromebook.
you gotta say something, guys. Have some kind of comment back.
Our children are safe. I guarantee that.
How?
You're letting a pedophile in my son's school. Let me finish. Steps have been taken.
What?
We cannot say what has been taken because in the state law, he is still a juvenile.
But he's being child as.
He's tried as an adult.
That's 2 separate governmental agencies.
Why can't you say what you've done for safety?
Because we're not allowed, because he is a juvenile. So you can't say It would be just the same, it would be just the same, and I know I'm going off the reservation here, and I know all the rest of my board members are not happy with me right now, but I'm just telling you, things have been done, number 1. Number 2, your children are safe. Number 3, the 2 separate entities of government do not interact. Our children were safe as of when? I cannot say that. That's a problem.
Can we see that
But
there's-
that's not, I can't say it because the government It's has, a date, that doesn't reveal anything.
How can we
It does.
How can we see
Well, a
that
date
there's
never existed, I got an email, nothing.
an email before kids were already in school, parents were on their way to work. Yes,
We need a transparent.
but how are our kids being safe if we already know that this guy is not being supervised during the day? That's number 1. Nobody's with this kid. He's roaming the halls, he's in the bathroom, he's outside. How are we supposed to believe that our kids are safe?
You shake your head, but this is from many children saying they have seen him roaming the halls
How would
by
you feel
himself.
if this
And
was
also
your
the police
kid?
presence that was not here. From many children. They saw the school resource officer, they never saw another police officer. It's all a bunch of lies. You're lying to the parents. You are lying to the taxpayers. You are lying.
Why didn't you send that message that you read today to everybody? Why hasn't some sort of email went to everybody?
It shouldn't be an email though, it should be
If
phone
they don't
calls.
want to comment about anything ever, how simple is an email to go out? You remind us to sign up for the free ACT, you remind us for a whole bunch of stuff. Why can't you send something out weekly that we validate your concerns? You would appease some of these people.
All I can say
They
is-
don't seem to care, just make sure you vote all
No,
of
don't
them
get
out.
involved, like, I know you're a reporter,
Vote
but
everybody.
I'm just wondering how they're gonna have a daycare with this referendum.
come on.
If
I know you're a reporter, but don't get it,
I
it's,
gotta-
you don't
I
even
know
live in
you're
our town.
annoying, just be
You
quiet.
don't live in our town.
Hey, you guys,
I don't live in this town.
you guys
My
wanted
daughter
a
attends
response, he
here.
was
But
about to
that's
respond,
different.
and
That's
you cut him off, let him respond.
Okay, that's all we can say. That's all legally that we can say.
So I guess.
We are gonna move on with the rest of our meeting. There's nobody else.
I have a question for you.
Anything.
I have a question for you. Is there an option to ask this family to just keep their child at home? Is there an option?
We are not the ones to be asking that. You have to talk to the administration.
Okay. Is this the administration?
You're the boss of the administration. That's your job.
They're not gonna worry about that at all.
You're responsible for the.
Is this the administration?
Yeah, that's
Could you please, hey, I'm not trying to ambush you, I'm not trying to come at you, I'm trying to be calm about all this. Could you please answer me, is there an option that this individual could be asked to stay home? If the laws are there, and we have to figure that out, that's fine, but is there an option that this individual can stay home?
I'm gonna pipe up here. I do appreciate everyone's concern. It would be my concern too, if I had children going to school. You guys all have to understand, public comments are where you are addressing us with telling us your concern. Until it gets put on our agenda to discuss back and have a conversation.
No.
Wow. We are taking everything that you guys are saying,
No.
and it is
No, you're
valid,
not.
very valid.
Can I make a motion to add it to your next agenda? Can everybody here say aye?
Aye.
You guys, we would love to sit here and talk
No,
about
like,
it. We
Is
can't.
that a motion? Did you put it on the
Or
next
administration
agenda?
doesn't
Did
even
But if you
ask
guys are
that?
looking for information on a minor, we can't give it.
We're not
asking for
I didn't ask about the child. I asked you if there was an option to ask the family
Yeah.
to keep the child at home and at least start there. So all the children can go to school and be kids.
I think he's respectfully asking. The principal is literally right there and he's adamant. I don't.
Correct, but you guys have to understand, this is public comments of you addressing us as the board members. As it states, if you read it again, we can ask questions for clarification, but conversing back and forth
And discuss.
cannot occur here. So that would be something I would tell you. By all means, give a call, talk to Mr. Cryle, Mr. Bender,
So we can have
Mr. Livestock, and address that concern there and see what they can tell you and what needs to be done.
I think they're addressing that they don't get calls back on they don't get any calls back.
I do know, I'm gonna.
I got a call back, but I got no information, so that's unhelpful.
Do you have a point of contact?
I mean,
Email, a phone number,
We
somebody?
emailed every single administrator.
Yeah, somebody that'll actually email back.
Just give us a good name and number, that's all we need.
you understand that a lot of parents called and no one picked up, right?
We're directed to them and no one answers.
From the administration to the board president, I never got a response.
So
Nothing.
to me, this sounds like our meeting.
Are
the absences
you guys
being counted
can
against
sit and
our
yell out
kids
loud,
if we
but
keep them home?
I'm gonna defend our administration right now because I know that they've been working hand in hand with the sheriff's department and our legal team to put out what they can to the extent of what we can.
Okay, our kids, are they gonna be excused absences if we choose to keep them home and out of the presence of a pedophile?
Nope.
Or are these absences counted against them?
Safety.
I mean, it worked for
I mean,
COVID.
my daughter, is she gonna be
My
We
daughter
will
still does
address
her
it the
work
best
at
we can.
home.
There isn't a,
What
there
is the
isn't a
best you
book,
can
a
though?
rule
I mean,
book
my
written
daughter
for
texts
everything.
me, she
We are
calls me
doing our
Saturday,
best with
she
the
has
information
anxiety.
and
Wait a
what
minute,
we
wait a
have.
minute.
Okay, all right,
Over the
over, right? All right.
So are these absences being
We've
counted
heard
against our
what you're
children?
looking for, the administration's heard it. They will work on it, we are moving on with the rest of
You
our
can't
meeting.
answer that question
What
if the
question?
absences
They don't
will
call
be
anybody
excused.
back or email them back. They can't even give that to the parents. Our kids can't participate in after-school activities because they're not there in the presence of a pedophile? Are you kidding?
You have to
Isn't this
really
common
answer that
sense?
question, if it's excused or unexcused. It seems like,
Are these excused or unexcused absences, or is this also something you'll have to get back to us on?
But you don't return phone calls.
They will get back to you.
When?
After the kids in jail?
What about the fact that the Alice drills have not been started, this question is
Call them
about how they
tomorrow.
can handle
Give them a chance to answer because everybody can't call all day long.
They're here now to answer.
And we can't deal with it now.
What's the point of tomorrow first now, if you can't answer it?
Because in our meeting, only what's on the agenda. I've explained that. You can look it up.
Emergency situations like this for the community should always be on the agenda. Doesn't matter if it's programmed in there or not.
Safety of the children should always
Check
be
the
the
DA's office.
Your agenda. You have concerned parents here right now that want to know what's going on with their children. That should be your agenda for every single meeting.
And you knew this was coming, so it should be.
You made an announcement on this when we first started. That announcement must have been on the agenda. That announcement is about the topic that we're talking about.
Okay, can we have an emergency meeting for this then? Like tomorrow? I'm game. Anybody else?
Yep, emergency meeting.
We can't do that either.
Okay.
Please explain the proper protocol to get this
Believe it or
on the
not,
agenda.
We had an
Hold it.
emergency town meeting.
Believe it or not, there are rules about calling meetings also.
Right, I'm
All right?
to explain that.
We can't call a meeting for tomorrow because they have to legally be posted.
Okay.
Notices put out, you don't do it in one day.
How many days?
All right?
Okay, well, I can
So, enough. We are gonna move on with the rest of our meeting.
I would like to ask why the Alice drills.
You know, students running this will apply.
All right,
Sir,
we're gonna go on to
Sir,
items for
if I can
discussion
ask one
possible
more
action.
thing, why have the Alice drills not been started this school year? With this day and age, with all the crap that happens at schools, there have been no Alice drills. My daughter doesn't even know where to go. So we talked about it a little bit. Have we practiced it? No. That is not acceptable today. Unfortunately, for the crazy world we live in. But here we are, 2 months into school starting. Why?
I'm sure we met the minimum.
All right, please sit down
Do kids
so we
need
can
to be
continue.
killed before something's gonna be done?
Would you please sit down so we can
Okay.
continue?
All right, so
We
ignore.
just have to remember their
You
vote
guys
then.
need to
Vote them out. Speak with your vote.
really do.
Okay.
Can't answer anything.
Go ahead and start.
They didn't give us one single
Each
answer.
year we have to approve students
No.
sign up for Start College Now or college programs in which they take classes.
I mean, this is grant goes back to Fort
Number
Miller.
2 or 4-year
So,
universities.
I mean, by the time they-
to take classes.
I know, that's great.
All right, we can't hardly hear one another up
That's
here.
your problem, not our problem. Maybe you
problem.
should deal with our problem. Our problem is, and give us some answers and try to work through this with us.
Still a community building, we have a right.
People want to run.
We pay taxes.
Take over their seats.
Would love to.
We can converse the problems that are.
But they're not doing anything for us or for our kids.
You obviously don't want to listen.
Right?
Nobody else here. Yep. You're approving the list of just Star College now, what are the college credit?
How was that compared to last year? We have I make a motion. No, they're not. Start college now, early college credit program. As presented.
I'll second. So we are planning there are some clubs that are changing. So there are some clubs that are still changing names and other clubs that were in the
You might start working.
I got it.
You guys are talking way too quiet. I'm in the front row. I can't hear you. I know they're talking, but I'm close to you. I should be able
Okay. Hey, we're either gonna quiet down or everybody's gonna go.
You can't direct the sheriff's department.
I understand,
Yeah.
I understand that you guys are unable to speak on certain issues, but there are questions that you can answer. And that is the question of how are you going to keep the children in this community safe? Not just the one child that seems to be the problem in this issue.
Why are you inviting the grade schools in next week?
Great question.
We understand that you have an agenda, and we would like to know how to put our issues on that agenda.
Yeah, this must
If
be.
you can answer that one question, I'd really appreciate it.
It is in policy.
Okay.
We're in recess right now.
Thank you.
That's what he's asking.
Please
I'll
put it on the agenda.
agenda. She's asking that, Wayne. Answer it.
I apologize again. I'm asking how we can get this issue on the agenda so that you can talk about it. Regardless of whether you can talk about it legally or not, what you can say legally or not, can we get it on the agenda?
Call the district administrator and request to be on the agenda.
Thank you. That's what I mean. I will do that. Thank you.
And you also get people that can answer those questions here on that time. Because it's not gonna do us any good to put it on the agenda and sit here at a blank wall, as you're doing now. Is there a way, this kid, if he has to come to the school legally, that he cannot be put in a separate classroom by himself with the teacher? I know you can't talk about it. So let's get somebody here at that meeting that can talk about it and answer our questions.
But even if it's on the agenda, we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to talk about one single student. We can't identify
Can you
one
answer-
single student.
Can you answer whether or not downloading pornography on a school Chromebook is an
Is it a
with
second?
school Wi-Fi? Is that an offense that would be expelled for?
Is that in the handbook?
Or suspended at a minimum?
Regardless of the student in question at all.
That has nothing to do with.
Hypothetically, if it was to happen.
So now can all the kids just download porn then?
Yep. Be careful of the information you're reading online that you're taking as true information.
You're false. Everything I put was accurate. You're fake.
No, it wasn't. You said you got a
I
hold,
used to
hold
sign
it,
that.
hold it. You said you got a hold of all the board members. My number's in the book.
I emailed all of you.
You never emailed me. Never. So the Kenosha County Enquirer did not email everybody.
Yeah, I know who I'm gonna believe. Thank you, Kevin.
I've got a sworn affidavit, you haven't even read it.
We should really thank the
Maybe
chairman.
we should check your Chromebook, you freak.
There you go.
Yeah,
My-
right.
What?
Excuse me? Thank you.
I make the motion to go into recess.
Time stop work.
No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Truck right up there.
You asking me to fight? I'm not gonna
No,
fight.
I'd like to go talk to you. I'd like to go talk to you and see the affidavit.
Stop.
You know you don't like me, but just shut it.
No.
Your problem.
Yeah, it's not tough.
If you're here, respect us.
Is this meeting adjourned?
No, it's in recess.
Thank you.
They went to recess.
Thank you.
That's what we hope. Bring it, sing it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
That's another one.
I second it.
Can I just ask one thing, just so we can conduct business?
Mike, we're moving in,
I know,
unfortunately.
I know.
A motion's on the table, it has to be addressed first.
I just want them to, so we can hear each other,
We
please.
can't reconvene, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
No, I understand.
Aye.
Sure, so we left off with, new clubs, so we're adding the clubs that are within. We are also, changing the name of the clubs, as you can see within there. So this is student Mr. Square. As we've been talking about the student interest within the league, we want to make sure that we're able to move forward with some of the clubs that are listed.
Did we have it our club?
I don't think you voted yet.
No, did we have our club?
Yes, so we're bringing that one back.
Yes,
Oh, so that
yes.
was disbanded,
Yep,
okay.
it was disbanded, right around COVID.
Okay.
And all the other ones are newer clubs that we already have, it's active for, a lot of interest in.
Approve as recommended.
I'll second.
Aye.
Audiovisual technicians.
Sure, so with, the new equipment we have coming in with the referendum for our auditorium, our field house, press box, we are looking for somebody to help oversee, the, work with our contractors as we bring in that equipment, and then moving forward to oversee the, kind of like the supervision of that equipment. So this is a, an additional, stipend position that we would like to add for that specific purpose.
Is this full?
This is a stipend position.
Stipend, okay.
So,
I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Restructuring of activity and club stipend positions.
So as you see up here, the ones on the left are ones that we are replacing that we have not ran in a couple of years, based on like the gap, we don't have German anymore. So what you see up here is the stipend positions that you already approved and the ones that they'll be taking over for that we already have. So in terms of budget and money and those type of things, there's not going to be very much difference in what we're already paying out for our advisors and our clubs. Adding new 7 positions, but they're replacing 7 positions that we don't currently have. So we're just asking that those ones that you approved, just take the place of those ones with minimal impact on funds.
Any questions? Okay, the motion to approve the restructuring of stipend positions is presented.
I will make a motion, we approve as presented.
I second.
Any discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Tax levy certification.
Numbers, get a little boring now. So the tax levy, we have to. So the tax levy gets figured out off of the revenue limit, which gets sent out on October 15th from the state. And then we work from that to set the tax levy. So for the Fund 10, which is our general fund, where the tax levy will be $9,531,751.25. For Fund 39, which is part of the referendum payback, that will be $2,342,406. And then for our community outreach, which will help fund the community projects and camps, that is $150,000. So the total tax levy is $12,024,157.25. There is a couple of other slides that kind of breaks it down by home values, equalized value by each district. Oops. This is part of the preliminary property tax value that comes from the state. They do it by district. If you go one more slide, then it kind of looks a little bit, and I know they're all saying. Oh gosh. So this shows last year's levy and then this year's levy. It's affected by home values, and then they take the total amount of the levy and it's figured by how much is the equalized value for each township. And it's just kind of showing the percentage of the change. Overall, the tax levy is going down for everyone. It was, I think, $320 last year and $299 this year. So it is still going down even with our referendum. Any questions on the levy?
I make a motion to approve the tax levy certification.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The final budget adoption.
So last month we did do the budget adoption. The changes to this one is from the revenue limit that was set out by the state on 2018. So any of the changes that are made all have to do with that. The per child cap that we expected to go up from all the chatter throughout the state did not go up. It stayed at 325. It froze. So that meant that you can see it under state aid general. It went down by $392,000. We were not getting that money. So we needed to go towards the tax levy to grab that additional. So those changes on the top line is where revenue sources are coming from. It's coming from taxes versus from the state. And then that affects also the SPED funding because the Fed, our general fund, has to supplement the special education program. So since special education actually did increase in their percentage of reimbursement, so the special education expense came down for the general fund. So those are the, I don't know how much you guys want me to point out there. If you have questions, I will explain it. But that's the whole, every change to the budget was just off the revenue limit and where the funds are coming from and how much the state is giving us in the different areas. And sorry,
There's nothing as clear as an Excel spreadsheet. It's always clear.
I know there's only a lot. If I can walk through it for you more.
No, you should.
So this is the revenue limit that the state supplies, and then we work off of that, and it goes off a 3-year average of the enrollment. So our enrollment this year is actually 943 students, and that takes into account our open enrolled in, our open enrolled out, any voucher students that we have to account for. So all of that gets calculated in there. It shows our expense and what we have to pay out for those open enrolled students, out what we get in from those coming in, the voucher amount, and then like I said, the per capita per student, that going down. So that number comes here. The state gives us a limit of how much we can take, and so that was the $9,538,000. So that moves to our Fund 10. And then this is for the referendum, our community outreach, and then that's our total tax levy. So everything's really directed from the state on what we can levy. And I guess I'm back to that, but that sets the budget, so it's a pretty.
And based off what you're saying is what we lost on one we gained on the other, so it kind of
It kind of washed a little bit.
A little bit, like $170,000.
We still ended up having to levy a little bit extra from the community,
Correct.
but that's still set, the cap is still set by the state.
Okay.
Any other questions? Need a motion
I make a motion to approve the budget motion.
Second.
to discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Convene into closed session to discuss. Take action if appropriate. Consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility under Wisconsin statute 1985, sub 1, sub C. Individual employee contract matter. And, let's see. And also pupil issue. I have a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion to go into closed session. I make a motion to reconvene into open session.
One second.
All right. Mike?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Oriano?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Mike?
Yes.
And I vote aye. All right, we're back in open session. Now, we have a motion to,
I make a motion. Oh, hang tight. I break this one time. I make a motion to waive the liquidated damages discussed in closed session.
I will second that motion.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right,
I make a motion to adjourn.
you give me a chance to tell you, go ahead.
Nope, you're fine.
All right,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.